So I'm going to clarify some things here so people understand the difference between the JJ mentality and everybody else when it comes to pain and using the medical holistic system, even the veterinarian system. We have many people, like everyone that's not on the JJ mentality, living a disposable lifestyle, think of their pets and themselves as disposable. They think of their friends, their families, even their coworkers as disposable. And so the whole evolution of the JJ mentality is to understand that you are not disposable. Your animal is not disposable. How many animals do people go through in a lifetime because of the fact that you don't want them to feel pain, which I understand. But any type of evolution to a new viral variant to keep your animal alive, it must go through that and have that pain be fed with all the food in the food supply. And so anytime you're taking your animal to a vet, anytime you're taking yourself to the doctor or to a holistic professional, you are advocating that you yourself is disposable and that your animals are disposable. I plan to have my dog for as long as I keep her alive. Being in a cured state is not optimal because death is an outcome. And so when someone is concerned that they think that I should be taking my dog to a vet because she's dealing with seizures, you know what happens when you give animals anti-seizure medication, when you give your animals and your friends and your family and your kids all these evolutionary mitigating medications, they will die at some point. The only reason why someone does not die and they feel pain is because they're feeding the pain all the food in the food supply that's appropriate for not only the humans, but also the animals. And so this is why people don't understand the JJs. They think that I'm neglecting my dog or neglecting myself. But I'll tell you what, my dog is not neglected. She is happy. She's got to deal with evolution like everybody else. But look, she is bright. She is alert. She's not hormonally imbalanced. She's calm. And so I have my critics, and I completely understand. Everyone who has a controversial thought process has a critic. But you also must understand you yourself as a critic of the JJ mentality and as a critic of how I take care of my animal. You actually have categorized yourself as disposable. You have made your animal disposable. You have used hormones to elicit a manipulation that if you don't stop the pain right away, because let me tell you, my dog, for her, like when she has like skin stuff, like right now she has mucus coming out of her vagina right now. And that's okay, her body's releasing. I'll use topical stuff like the JJ mentality, and I have given her a little bit of J juice just because I want to activate her immune system to release stuff that could potentially be clogging up stuff. But I mean, I don't let her suffer. She just has to deal with her stuff. Just like you. If you want to evolve, you got to feel the pain. And so that's the split in our society between life and death. See, this is where taking a side makes sense. You either understand the physics of life or you understand the physics of death. If you understand only the physics of death, then you yourself, your animal, and your friends and your family are disposable, and it's only enjoying them relative to the environment, how much life they still have left within them to handle the cures and to handle the environment. And so the whole JJ mentality is completely opposite of the disposable society we live in. And so I find it distressing that I have stalkers, which I'm responding. I'm not going to say her name because I know she wants me to say her name. She's looking for some kind of advertisement for herself, but I'm not going to say her name. But I have stalkers on my Facebook who don't agree with what I'm doing, who completely think the opposite, but have set, and you can tell that the oxytocin is coming to surface because they come off like they care about my dog's sugar. They could give a fuck about sugar. They don't care about my dog. They don't care about me, and they don't care about themselves. The only thing they care about is to be right in their world and to find confirmation to prove their one-sided belief system. And yeah, if you don't want to feel pain and you want to die someday, absolutely the vet and the medical system would be appropriate for you. But you can't legislate morals onto somebody else. That's the whole point of our system, is that's why we don't have prohibition. That's why we don't have complete eradication of drug use. I mean, they do have some limitations, but they don't want to legislate morals on people who want to destroy themselves, but they have to do it in a way that's not super destructive to everyone else around them. And that is not, I mean, you know, they're not outlawing suicide. We don't want to advocate suicide. But if you choose to destroy yourself through the medical, holistic, veterinarian system, and you choose to destroy your animal through that way as well, I mean, I get people love their animals and they don't want them to suffer. But in an environment such as this, they're going to have to deal with stuff. Or don't have an animal if you don't want your animal to suffer. Because you're going to cut the lifespan of your animal very short when they deal with these viral variants and you're not feeding them correctly. I question and I challenge anyone that has an animal that doesn't agree with what I'm doing. What are you feeding your animal? Are you only feeding them kibble and maybe what you think is organic? But are you truly understanding what it takes to actually evolve? Or is it about, oh, they feel a symptom and they must go now through a surgery, they must take out organs? That's the allopathic mentality. That's completely opposite of the JJ mentality. And so I want to put it out there again, because people don't understand that, yes, this virus is going to bring up all these different predispositions that not only your animal is going to experience, but also you. So how you treat yourself is exactly how you can treat your animal, and it's exactly who you surround yourself with. Disposable people, disposable animals, disposable whatever. You're not going to want to see evolution through. It's too much work to keep something alive when you say, okay, it only has this much of a lifespan, so I'm going to find every way to possibly get antibiotics and genocide my animal at the microbial level. That's distressing to me, that someone has the judgment to say, oh, you're neglecting sugar because you're not taking her vet for her seizures. Absolutely not. What's distressing to me is you're willing to genocide your pet because you don't want to deal with the seizures and deal with the deficits, that you want to just take out organs and destroy them either at the micro level or altogether because you don't want to deal with having to actually take care of your animal. That's what's distressing to me. Those that have animals that are critical of how I take care of my animal are willing to destroy their animal because they don't want to actually take the time to feed that evolution the food and deal with them going through this process. But they're willing to destroy their animal at the micro level and then eventually at the macro level. That's the split in our society with the JJ mentality, and that's the split society with those that don't understand JJ mentality. And so let me put it point blank. My dog is not disposable. I am not disposable. Nobody in my life is disposable. Okay? You all have the chance to level up to the level of the environment, or you all have a chance to de-evolutionize yourself and destroy your animal systematically through the veterinarian, through the holistic allopathic, through whatever. And people are doing that. And then at some point, people are not going to get animals because the amount of responsibility it takes to keep that animal alive in a dynamic environment is far more than they can handle. And so, yeah, I see people with a bunch of cats are saying that their cats are like dropping like flies in this environment. They only have one cat left of all the animals that they have rescued. They only have one cat left because they can't handle the viral evolution. And so you have the opportunity, if you have the wherewithal and you're willing to take on the responsibility, you have the opportunity to not think in a disposable thought process that your animal deserves to live. And sometimes it's painful to live. I can't take away all of her pain. If I do that, then I would have to basically destroy her. When people say, oh yeah, rest in peace, animal, you're not in pain anymore. Pain is life. How much pain is obviously that balancing act, but my dog Sugar is not always in pain. When she has to adapt to a new viral variant, yeah, she's got to deal with it. Her body's also releasing scar tissue and other things that she has taken on through the veterinary system. When she had tumors, before I even got her, they had to go and cut tumors out of her. Tumors are just other life. I give her a high sodium diet to quell the fast replicating cells. And I also give her all the food in the food supply that's appropriate for animals, which some people don't even do for themselves, much less for their animal. You realize that people just give their animals the kibble or whatever organic food that's on the market, and that's all. They neglect their animal by just giving them the food, and that's it. And they play with the animal. The animal's an entertainment piece. It's not really part of their family. It's an entertainment piece to be there only when you want to have it, make you feel comfortable. People are taking these therapeutic animals because of the COVID. That dog is disposable to them, because guess what? When the dog doesn't perform the way they expect it to, they go and give it away. They give it back to the Humane Society. They go and destroy it, or they give it away to somebody else, to their friends and family. And I see it all the time. Oh, I can't take my animal here, so I'm going to give up my animal and go give it over here. Oh, yeah, my animal has all these issues, and I don't have the money to take care of the animal, to get the operations if that's what it requires. And so guess what? They put the animal down. I understand. But this virus evolution, this virus is going to bring up the predispositions in animals. And now you're faced with, do you destroy the animal with antibiotics and with taking things out or putting them down? Or you say, you know what? I've taken on this animal. I have a commitment to keep this animal alive. I'm going to feed it and deal with this situation. And that's the split in our society. Those that just want entertainment pieces. Their animals are entertainment pieces, something to love to death, and something to also destroy because the animal isn't performing the way they expect it. And the people's guilt when they watch me with my sugar, it comes out in emails. And I could feel the oxytocin. I know how unbalanced that person that emailed me. She's so unbalanced. And I feel the oxytocin. I feel the manipulation. And that's what I mean by the destroying someone through manipulation and through oxytocin. You can love someone to death. And people do. They love their animals to death. They love their friends and family to death. They love their kids to death. When you love something to death, you destroy it with the love by neglecting what really is going on and then trying to systematically take away their evolution and destroy them bit by bit until you're like, oh, well, she's not suffering anymore. Well, you've made the animal suffer because you've withheld nutrients. You didn't understand the pain of evolution. My dog is stronger every single time she gets seizures because of the fucking virus. If we wouldn't have the virus, she wouldn't have seizures. She didn't have seizures before this virus. But I'm not going to go and put her on medication. I'm feeding her all the food in the food supply and supporting those evolutions. And that's what is misunderstood by the holistic allopathic people. All the empaths, the oxytocin toxic empaths who love humanity to death, who love animals to death, who love themselves to death. There is a credibility behind the term when you love something to death or you hate something to death. Love is destructive and so is hatred. And so that's why you're not in my world. That's why I blocked your ass. I let your emails come through occasionally. But I'm going to call you on your shit and say that you happen to not want to take responsibility for having an animal. So you'd rather destroy your animal than actually deal with what it takes to keep an animal alive. And many people are out there, have animals, and they are disposable to them. They're just entertainment pieces. My dog is an entertainment piece. She's part of my family. She is everything to me. And I will not destroy her with the medical holistic system. I will keep her alive, and we both will evolve in this dynamic environment. And if you choose not to, then that's fine. I'm not going to legislate morals onto you. But if you want to legislate morals onto me, I'm going to bring it right back to you. You have lacked responsibility of taking care of your animal. You'd rather kill your animal than actually evolve with it. And that's really what goes on. So I'm sorry, but good luck, everyone. Bye.